Good evening, I'm Mark Cuevas, and this is New Media Weekly. And my guest is creator, executive producer of the wildly popular and multi-award winning web series, Misbehave, Susan Bernhardt. What have you learned? What has been the one lesson in developing this particular series that you couldn't have imagined you would have learned, or it has been simply the one most enlightening thing that has occurred from doing this?
I would say the one most enlightening thing would be that, and I don't want to sound very cliche, but it's, I think that if you set your mind to it and you really have the resources, fortunately we had built a lot of relationships between Jillian and myself over the years. And if you can draw on those resources, you can do anything. And creating something like this has been, for us, such an amazing experience, because I set out with certain goals for my show. I had, honest to God, certain goals that I wanted to reach.
Do you feel that you've been able to accomplish most of them?
Absolutely. The only thing that it hasn't done is move to television, but everything else that I set out to do, I've done.
Do you feel that that's a possibility in the not-so-distant future, that it'll make that leap from?
You never know. Anything is possible. I think because we have such a strong relationship with our distributor, Coldcast, and we do have some other things in the works with the show, which I wish I could say everything about everything, but I can't.
Of course.
But you never know. You never know what's going to happen and where things will end up. You when you take a show like this, and you roll the dice and you develop it around, strong actors and hopefully stories that resonate with people, and that our big thing was to develop stories that teenagers could really relate to. And we've tried to keep the show natural too, that it's not over-the-top acting, that it's, natural kids acting, teenagers. We do have a few moments that are memorable, but...
What's the one thing that you would do differently in just the whole process? If there was one item that you would allow yourself a mulligan on and you would just...
Boy, that's a really, really tough question. I have to refer back to what I'm doing for third season. I changed those actor contracts a little bit, make them a little bit more, and I have to say, though, that I love all my actors, and they've all been very supportive. People have poured their heart out and worked for, a good meal and some credit and accolades. And but at the same time, you always want everybody to put a little bit more effort into, especially the social media marketing. It's all about that. It's all about that. New media, social media. It's all about it.
If you're not aggressive, you can't get your message out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that would be one thing. And I'm probably, when we're done with our interview, I'm going to think of something else.
Okay. Final question is, what's next?
Well, Misbehave has had an absent mother on our show for 2 seasons. She's been very talked about, the Queen. So we're planning to introduce her for our 3rd season. And we're actually, I have plans to do a spin-off for her. And it's going to be all about the high-profile world of celebrity PR. So I'm excited about that.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, very excited. And a little bit more soap opera-y than Misbehave has been.
Well, you have to come back and talk to us once it comes to be.
Absolutely.
I'm Mark Cuevas. This is Susan Bernhardt. This is New Media Weekly. Thank you for joining us.